Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, Barakatam. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and salutations to your Akim out there pushing this word in truth and sincerity. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Raya with another video, and I'm going to be reading from an article on activistpost.com titled Scientists accuse DARPA of genetically modifying insects for bioweapon to spread agricultural viruses. In a scathing report issued this week, researchers with the Science Policy Forum have accused the U.S. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, also known as DARPA, of creating a technology ostensibly used to genetically modify crops with insects, but that could be converted into a dangerous and illegal bioweapon. And DARPA is the main weapons research and development arm of the U.S. government. The current program is being funded by the Pentagon's darling research arm, DARPA, who last year was found to be spending millions on genetic extinction technology that could wipe out entire species. And if you're in the spirit, you know that that's mainly targeted towards you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are the true children of Israel, because these Edomites, or so-called white people, have a perpetual hatred towards you in their spirit, because our forefather took the birthright from their forefather. And you can see examples of it all throughout history. Just look at the Tuskegee experiments, all the way to that polluted water in Flint, Michigan. They want to get rid of you Israelites and and try to get that birthright back, but that's not going to be the case. And also, you other nations aren't exempt from this depopulation agenda that these elites have, which they speak about in their Georgia Guidestones, where they want to keep the population down to 500 million. DARPA's new project, dubbed Insect Allies, involves releasing fleets of genetically modified insects onto crops, which would infect plants with a special virus that would genetically modify the plant on location. As Gizmodo points out, if you think this sounds scary, you are not alone. The lead author of the new Science Policy Forum, Richard Guy Reeves, from the Department of Evolutionary Genetics at the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Biology, PLON, says the Insect Allies program is a disturbing example of dual-use research in which DARPA, in addition to helping out farmers, is also working on a potential weapon. And that part about them helping out farmers is just the cover story to make this more palatable to the population at large. And this brings me to my first precept in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, that son of perdition. And we're in the last seconds of these last days where the son of perdition has been revealed, chiefly through GMS, a great millstone out there on the highways and byways preaching this true doctrine. And that son of perdition are you Edomites, are you so-called white people who are the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, that the wicked whom the world has been given into the hands of, as it states in Job 9:24, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, which is what you Edomites are all about when you push your atheistic evolutionary philosophy, trying to convince people that there's no spirituality and that we live in this dead universe where this is all that's it, or that is worshipped, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, shewing himself that he is the Most High, which you Edomites try to do through your science, such as your nuclear weapons, or showing that you're able to go into space, or even through gene manipulation, as we're reading about in this article. And to a simple-minded person who is not spiritual, they could easily believe that you were the Most High by seeing you do all these miracles. But those that are in the spirit know that you're just the devil, that great deceiver that's about to come down in great wrath on the children of Israel, because you know you have a short time. That's why all you Edomites are losing your damn mind out here. You're seeing your world fall apart all around you. Naturally, as is the case with all accusations against DARPA when they get caught working on some sadistic planet-killing plot, they are denying the accusations, writing them off as mischaracterizations. The report was published in Science on October 5th and is nothing short of chilling. According to researchers, DARPA aims to disperse infectious genetically modified viruses that have been engineered to edit crop chromosomes directly in the fields. As Gizmodo explains, the technology at the heart of this research could herald an entirely new way of genetically modifying crops. Instead of having to wait for a plant to pass its newly acquired traits onto the next generation, genetic changes would be imposed upon living organisms, a process known as horizontal genetic alteration. Just another sign again that you Edomites are that son of perdition, the wicked of the Bible, also that devil or deceiver, because you think you can do better than the natural methods of the Most High by trying to speed up his processes, and we're seeing what it's doing to the planet. It's completely wrecking it. Hence the technology's name, Horizontal Environmental Genetic Alteration Agents, or HAGAs. The viruses will be delivered using genetically modified insects as a means of overcoming the previous limitations to delivering HAGAs. According to the report, the regulatory, biological, economic, and societal implications of dispersing such HAGAs into ecosystems are profound. Further, this program stipulates that the means of delivery of these viral HAGAs into the environment should be insect-based dispersion. DARPA plans to release swarms of genetically modified insects like leafhoppers, whiteflies, and aphids that have been altered using CRISPR or other gene editing systems. And think about it like this. Not only with these abilities would they be able to infect food crops in particular races of people's areas, but also say they infect mosquitoes with a certain virus and send them into certain races of people's areas, such as you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. They could infect you with some type of virus that would specifically be designed to attack your genes and kill you off. The swarms would be carrying an infectious virus to crops that are already established as a means of genetically modifying them on the spot. If this sounds like science fiction to you, it should. However, it is most assuredly not fiction, as Gizmodo reports. Insect Allies was announced in November 2016, and it currently involves research, contracts, and access of $27 million. DARPA is funding 4 teams, not 3 as claimed in the report, namely the Boyce Thompson Institute, Ohio State University, Pennsylvania State University, and the University of Texas Austin, SALAC. The defense agency maintains that all work is conducted inside closed laboratories, greenhouses, or other secured facilities, and that the insects will have built-in lifespans to limit their spread. DARPA is hoping to see tests done in greenhouses in as few as 2 years, with maize being a high-priority crop. And maize is corn, which is what a lot of people eat in general. So you see they're hitting what people use the most. Considering DARPA's history and their Pentagon funding, scientists are expressing justified concern over the development of this technology. The researchers in this report pull no punches when they claim it may be a cover to develop an offensive bioweapon, which is what all these government programs are. What their first use is for a military application. It is our opinion that the knowledge to be gained from this program appears very limited in its capacity to enhance U.S. agriculture or respond to national emergencies, write the authors in the New Policy Forum. Instead, they say, the program may be widely perceived as an effort to develop biological agents for hostile purposes and their means of delivery, which if true would constitute a breach of the Biological Weapons Convention. Using insects as a means of distributing the viruses is a terrible idea, according to the authors of the report, because they cannot be controlled. The scientists claim that HAGAs would be far more effective if simply sprayed overhead like most other delivery systems for agriculture. Stopping short of calling it a weapon, DARPA actually acknowledged that this technology could be used as a means of national defense. There it is right there. According to the DARPA website, national security can be quickly jeopardized by naturally occurring threats to crop systems, including pathogens, drought, flooding, and frost, but especially by threats introduced by state or non-state actors. Insect Allies seeks to mitigate the impact of these incursions by applying targeted therapies to mature plants with effects that are expressed at relevant time scales, namely within a single growing season. And notice how they mention, especially by threats introduced by state or non-state actors. To me, that rings of a false flag attempt, because we know that's what the U.S. government is all about. Just look at 9/11. Think about it like this. Say the government wants to bring in a state of martial law, they could release some of these Hagas to start killing off food crops or infecting them, which would lead to infected foods getting brought into supermarkets, and people would start dying from biological viruses. This would be the perfect example for them to bring in that state of martial law. And also, during a time of martial law, for you patriot groups or just anybody who's against the government, they could start infecting your gardens or anything like that and starve you out, and have you come to their FEMA camps with open arms because you're starving to death, and you'd be open to get that microchip implant, which is the mark of the beast. That's pretty much it with this article, but as you can see, Esau's always on the roll, getting closer and closer to trying to implement his New World Order. And now I'm going to close it off with a few more scriptures. This is Luke chapter 21, verse 11. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. And with DARPA creating these Hagas, remember what I said a little earlier about them infecting crops. With them infecting crops with certain viruses that could lead to those pestilences, could lead to famines, which would have you people real desperate out here and open to do whatever the government wants you to do, chiefly taking that mark of the beast microchip.